you ready? I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Bowie.
And Vita and Chip. Is there a word of the day?
Word of the day is...
Slouch. You shouldn't slouch. It's not good for your back or your internal organs. And it's not attractive either. You know, they did a study, I think. I believe I saw that, but who knows if it was real. But if you sit with your shoulders not slouched, it's more becoming.
You didn't call the...
What?
The...
What did I not do now?
Post office, did you?
No, they were closed by the time I got off with AAA.
Revolution is my name. Pantera. Speaking of revolution.
I'm so happy we're doing Pantera.
Speaking of revolution, if you want to think about the world and all that stuff, political-wise, you can visit Middle America with Vin and Sori.
Yeah.
We do that, and then we do fireside chats and all that good jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to look at life behind the scenes, you can check out this one at My Sori Life.
You can.
This channel, however, is about the metal.
Yes.
And it's Pantera. Reinventing the steel.
Okay. Ready?
I'm pretty sure I was listening to K-Rock when this record came out. Pretty sure this record came out in 2000. Am I right? 2000. I was right.
I don't understand how people can know that stuff.
I remember being in my brother's apartment in the projects, and then people were like losing their minds over this record because I guess this was like a comeback record for Pantera.
Oh.
I guess they had been out for a while, and then
really? Do you remember this song? Revolution is my name. No. Were you not a Pantera guy?
I didn't like Pantera. I didn't like them. I didn't like them at all.
Really?
Nope.
Why?
As soon as I heard them, I would just go from the radio to the tape.
Well, but why?
Put in Incubus or something.
Why didn't you like them? Not hard enough or not what?
Well, obviously it wasn't because they were not hard enough. I had literally just started getting into metal, so my metal thingy was very small.
Oh.
And that was just when I got into metal. So it was new metal was Incubus, Korn, Slipknot. So Incubus had the song out called Pardon Me.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. So anytime I didn't like something on the radio, I would just switch it to the tape and then just hit Pardon Me. So.
You remember having to flip the tape over?
Yeah. I remember all that.
Did the stuff ever come out and you had to twist it?
Yeah. You had to get a pencil.
Oh, you couldn't finger in it?
I just get a pencil.
I always used my finger and it was fun. A pencil must have been faster though. But I liked sticking my finger in it.
All right.
All right, well, let's go.
So, this should be interesting.
Go.
God almighty. Golly.
What'd you think?
I think this record is a really, really important record because this is like right at the height of like the nu metal craze.
Yeah.
And everybody was putting like DJs and stuff into their music and scratches and all this like, experimental stuff when they really weren't experimenting. They were just trying to be like the popular nu metal bands. There's all this pressure on I mean, Metallica did it with Saint Anger. They were trying to make a nu metal record basically. Apparently that's what we got from the comment section. And these guys showed up and just said, nope, we're doing metal. And if you want to hear funny, weird sounds, I'm going to do it on Dime's guitar. Give me a whammy bar and Dime will take care of it. That's all the weird sounds you're going to get out of us. Like Pantera seems to be like, they seem to release iconic records in very important time when metal is kind of like downtrending. Yeah. When metal's downtrending, Pantera seems like they come out with a record and like.
I wonder if that's on purpose.
Like, I'm pretty sure during like the whole grunge period and stuff, and metal was kind of, they came out with a record. I forgot what the name of the record was, but somebody was saying that in the comment section, and nobody said this about this album. I don't know, maybe they did. Reinventing the Steel, but I mean, if you think about the name of the record, Reinventing the Steel, yeah, and if you think about the time period, because I was one of those kids that the record labels was saying we need to, because they're turning off your song and listening to Incubus, right? Which is exactly what was happening, and they were like, nope. And guess what? We're reviewing Pantera in 2018, and nobody even knows who Incubus is, so. Who won that argument? No, seriously, it's a serious question. Yeah. Like, I was going back and forth with a couple Metallica hits, today. And, I'm not mad at them, but I said that the Hit the Lights is not translatable. Like you couldn't put on Hit the Lights in 2018 and be like, yeah, I'm rocking to this. It just
yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and Metallica had, oh, that's ridiculous. Come on, guys.
Well, maybe they're thinking for them they could do that, but like for them, people just walking into it, nah.
The general populace,
no.
One, sure. Master of Puppets, absolutely. Hit the Lights, no.
Right.
This right here, this is from 2000, and it's still freaking metal, man. It's still like, yes, you could rock to it right now. Like these guys. The other thing about Pantera, we probably listened to like 8 or 9 Pantera songs. None of them sound the same. None of them sound the same.
Yeah.
Like,
there's always something aggressive about them.
Well, yes. I mean, I know it's Pantera. I know it's Phil. I know it's Dime. I know that. But like, if you look at Floods with the and like the way that Phil was doing the vocals to this, it's like completely different. It's like completely a different thing. They're such a good band. But yeah, no, I think historically, this is a historically important song because I'm pretty sure this is like the single.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that this was a single, and I'm pretty sure Reinventing the Steel. I'm pretty sure that was probably no. We're gonna stay metal.
Yeah.
We're gonna reinvent steel.
Good for
metal.
them.
We're not We're not gonna do the new metal thing.
Yep. They must have believed in it, and so then they, What was the beginning here? What's going on? Can you scroll up so we can see?
68 Into the World Born.
Yeah, he's talking about himself, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's probably born in 1968. This is Phil. 70s, a breath after the war. Life was confusing because of my age. 70s, the war, Vietnam. So he must have been like a little bitty kid when he was, coming into consciousness, and we just got done with Vietnam. Should my eyes open for tomorrow's gains? I can't help the way I am. There's no trust and there's no end. What's my name? So I guess it's trying to seek an identity. It's biographical. It's biographical, trying to seek an identity and figure out who you are in a ever-changing world. Because the world is
he says it right there. Don't you know just who I am?
It'll never change, so here it stays. Forever is my name. From now on, can't look the other way. Keep in mind and listen to what I say. Take under wing all the ones who are lost. Build up around them an infinite wall. Don't you know just who I am? Take the hand of wisdom, friend. What is my name? And then he says, it's time to change. It can't stay the same. Revolution is my name. So in chorus 1, it says, it'll never change, so here it stays. Forever is my name. So that's how things are the way they are. It is what it is, and you just have to accept it. And that's what you hear growing up. But then when he comes into himself, I think, in verse 2 and then chorus 2, he's saying, no, we have to change it. And then take up. See what I'm saying?
So I see that, yeah.
In verse 1 and chorus 1, it's like, you're young, impressionable, and this is the way it is. It stays like that, and the name is forever. And it's about society or whoever it is saying this is the way things are going to be forever for all time. But then verse 2 is him growing up into his own man, basically, and saying,
oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And then being
I like
part
that.
of Pantera, take under wing all the ones who are lost and build around them an infinite wall.
He says from now on can't look the other way. So that means he saw there was faults and flaws of the other system, but he just wasn't saying it because he was young, maybe because he wasn't ready. Then he says, keep in mind and listen to what I say. So now he's getting a voice of his own. Right. It's not just listening to what other people say, but now he's going to speak. And then he says, take under wing all the ones who are lost, which I think a lot of the, there's a lot of artists, I think, that do that, like Nergal or, where they kind of take people underneath their wing and give them a direction to go in that's different than what has been the norm, Yeah. And then he says, build up around them an infinite wall. So he's protecting them in a sense,
Well, it's an infinite wall because they're making timeless music. And I think part of the reason that they were saying, no, we're not going to do this new metal thing. We're not going to do fad metal because we want to make timeless music because they they were real. It's interesting because rappers are very much, hey, look, I'm not a role model. I'm here to make money. And they'll say, I'm here to make money and da-da-da-da. And they're not really big about doing something higher.
Yep.
Not many of them. Many of them are talking about doing something higher than what the thing is getting to them.
Yeah.
But it seems that metalheads or metal musicians seem to have a very purposeful understanding of trying to influence people and trying to do something, and they have a very keen self-awareness that they are. You see it with Manson, even with the Antichrist Superstar thing, and knowing that he is leading a whole group of people. Nerdball is obviously aware of it.
Yep.
Korn, they had Korn Kids, Are You a Korn Kid? And it was about, so it seems like in metal...
Slipknot maggot.
Yeah, Slipknot maggot. Like, it seems like in metal you have this awareness that you're doing something very, very significant. And so selling out and what, and I don't know how much new metal was whatever. I'm just saying building up around them an infinite wall to me is about making timeless music. And because it's still timeless music. I mean, we can plug and play right now. And it doesn't sound dated at all. It just
I see that as an idea.
The infinite wall.
Yeah, it's the mindset, the way of thinking. It's an infinite wall. But yeah, he communicates that through his music, so it would include the music.
It's time to change. It can't stay the same. Revolution is my name. What was going on? 2000 was 2000 was also the elections. You had Clinton.
Yep.
Clinton was out, and then you had what's his face? Not Obama. It was Al Gore versus George Bush. So that was interesting. So 2000 was a transitional year. So that got released March 21st, 2000. Yeah, it was a transitional year for us as a nation. After all.
I wonder how many people were meant to start a revolution but never did because they allowed their issues to stop them. I mean, you have issues.
Yeah.
I have issues. We all have issues, but we had to overcome those things to be able to accomplish what we have accomplished. And so I wonder, how many revolutions have been forfeited on the steps of depression or bipolar or
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a good support network around you. I mean, and then when I think about this band, I guess the guy that killed Dime, he was upset because the band had broken up or whatever, and he blamed Dime for it apparently. And it's like, people get mad at each other. I mean, what if you had a Pantera reunion? I mean, think about
I know. Well,
all
now
the
you just
shit
made that impossible.
Yeah, all the shit that's gone down in the last decade. They would have had so much material for music.
Yeah.
And we could have definitely used some Dime in the last decade to help us all out. So.
And it's not like bands never do that, split up and then come back.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
They were all in separate bands. Like I think Vinny and Dime were in Damage Plan.
Yep.
So Vinny and Dime were in Damage Plan. Phil was off, doing his thing, and their bassist, I don't know what he was doing, but I mean, sometimes people just need to do different stuff and get out of their system and come back. But we were never given that opportunity.
Yep.
So, that's pretty terrible. But
I wonder, that person that did that, they would have gone to jail, and you make decisions in your youth, and then as you age, he must have had.
I think they killed that guy. I think the cops went in there and took him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, it's the end of that.
He went to his reward, as they say.
Boy, yeah. His eternal reward. That's what they on Aladdin.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible. And the guy was a fan too. That's. It's
that's wild.
That's the thing about fans. It's you'll say, "Oh, I love this person. I love that person," but the minute they do what you don't want them to do, then now all of a sudden, you turn on him, and he's a crazy example of it. But that's the other thing that happens when you're a revolutionary. Is everybody loves a revolutionary until he has to make a tough decision. Like we're watching that right now in the show we're watching.
Yeah.
But anyway. I'm just laughing at my 13-year-old self, or however old I was. I don't even know how old I was. 2000. I don't know. But like, I just remember being in my brother's apartment. Korn was on heavy rotation. I didn't really like Limp Bizkit that much, but there was an Incubus song that I really, really loved.
Do you remember what it was?
It's Pardon Me. Pardon Me! And I just had it there. And then there was a song, Adam's song by Blink-182, which was just completely depressing, but it was very melodic and simple, so I liked it.
Whoa, and I've heard that. I used to hear people say you should listen to Adam's song.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. So, that one I would just... As soon as I heard Pantera, I don't know why I didn't think Pantera was good, because I liked Metallica. You know, One would come on. They were playing One in 2000. It was like a 12, 15-year-old song at the time.
I'm very surprised.
And they were playing, and they played the whole thing too. It's like a 7-minute song, yeah, on K-Rock. But anyway, hopefully they're still playing this on the radio stations. I don't even know if there are radio stations anymore because, I mean, if I would have had YouTube as a kid, forget it. I just play the songs I want to hear over and over again. The only reason I was listening to the radio was...
I know, that's the thing that...
Every half hour or so, you'd get one of your songs.
Yeah, it's true. But then you'd randomly bump into other stuff. I've often thought that. I'm like, is there anything that's like that where you can hear new songs that are in a certain genre that are... There's got to be an app that does that introduces you to new stuff.
I forgot the name of it, but...
You can thumbs down it if you don't like it, and thumbs up it if you do, and if you do, it's going to add more stuff that's like that.
Yeah, I think Spotify does.
That's what I was...
Spotify has like a radio station type of thing, and it's by genre, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, there you go. So, but at the same time, I'm glad, like, I'm finding all the Pantera now,
So what do you give it?
Diamond's the greatest. At the beginning, I'm like, what is this with the guitar and what is it doing? But I really think it was because before everybody was doing all these weird scratches and whatever.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that's what they were saying. This is a strong 9.5 for me. I really, really, really liked it a lot. I'm gonna look at the live video because I want to see him rocking out. What do you give it?
It's an 8.
How dare you? How dare you?
I like the lyrical content and what the song is about. I think is super important. Like I think that's really important. But as far as musically, I like his voice, but musically I was kind of like, I liked it, but didn't like it. And the other thing too, I was a bit distracted because there's a song that we used to listen to when I was growing up, like when I got into like my teen years and we could like start listening to Christian music. It sounded a lot like this, and so I was distracted trying to figure out what song was that. I mean, it didn't have the complexities that this one did, but like the lyrical, and it was like harder, and then the lyrical stuff that they were doing, what he was doing with his voice, it had some similarities.
Christian rock?
Yeah, it was definitely a Christian song. So it was like
more thievery.
They snagged what they could.
Thou shalt not steal.
There's actually been like quite a bit of these songs that you showed me that have been
straight up jack.
Have been very familiar to me, and I know that it's because I didn't hear the song, but that I heard like some Christian version of it.
Thievery.
But anyway,
rest in peace to the big homies. Phil Anselmo, we're coming for you, sir. Where the interview at? Been out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.